Hello, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Mike Walter in Washington, D.C. A three-day visit to the United States Capitol by China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi is coming to an end. Highlights included meetings at the State Department, at the U.S. Capitol, and at the White House. We have team coverage of it all with our correspondents who've been following it every step of the way. Wang Guan, our chief political correspondent of the CCTV Mandarin service, and of course, CCTV's Sean Callebs, who begins our coverage with Wang Yi's final day in Washington.
Whether side by side with his U.S. counterpart John Kerry, on Capitol Hill with the powerful House Foreign Affairs Committee, or a greeting in the Oval Office with the U.S. President, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi said this important three-day U.S. trip would set the tone for diplomatic relations between the two largest economies on Earth.
A good China-U.S. relationship will benefit both nations and the world at large.
Wang Yi spoke for an hour and a half at a Washington, D.C. think tank, the Center for Strategic and International Studies, covering an array of topics, but conceding his audience clearly cared about two specifically, the dispute over the South China Sea and the DPRK.
First of all, we're against the development of nuclear weapons by the DPRK.
Wang's first public comments about the region since word broke that the U.S. and China had agreed on tougher UN sanctions against Pyongyang for violating UN nuclear restrictions.
There will be a new UN Security Council resolution entailing further actions to limit the development of nuclear missile technologies. Yet at the same time, we must not give up on peace talks, which is the only viable nuclear issue.
China and the United States have been united in their desire to punish the DPRK's recent nuclear test and rocket launch, but have been divided over how severe sanctions should be. Wang says the new resolution will change the way China deals with the DPRK. At the same time, Wang told the group China has every reason to be concerned the United States may deploy an anti-ballistic missile system in South Korea known as THAAD.
But I must point out that the X-band radar associated with the THAAD system has a radius that goes far beyond the Korean Peninsula and reaches into the interior of China.
And that, he says, is a security concern for China. The South China Sea is the other security concern for the U.S. and China, with the United States accusing China of militarizing the region. The foreign minister dismissed the allegation, saying China has every right to defend islands they have historically claimed. And when it comes to disagreements in the region, Wang says China and other ASEAN nations are capable of resolving their own disputes.
Countries from outside of the region, it is hoped, will support the resolution of the disputes through negotiation between the directly concerned parties.
Now, throughout the trip, the Chinese foreign minister has consistently said subjects they agree on far outweigh those that cause friction. But Wang is leaving the United States without any significant breakthrough in the South China Sea, an area in which the two superpowers, at least for the time being, are willing to agree to disagree.